Everybody's thinking the Kansas City Chiefs are less than, and clearly you could accuse me of being one of them by saying the Raiders are going to win the division. But I'm beginning to talk myself into something about this Chiefs team. I know you just raised your hand, Chris, saying you think the Chiefs are less than.
They're a little less than this year, yeah.
I'm looking at this offense, and I'm just remembering when Calvin Johnson retired.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Calvin Johnson retired, and Marshall Faulk, easily the smartest football person I've ever met, with all due respect to every other football person I've met. He said on game day morning, and then sat in this chair, I believe, as well, saying that when Calvin Johnson, after he retired, that the offense for the Lions is going to be better and more efficient. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? That's Megatron. And it's just a quarterback doesn't feel the need to always look in the same spot first. It makes an offense that much more predictable, even though clearly Stafford to Megatron, hard to stop. But if everybody kind of knows your first option, it makes you more predictable as an offense. It also makes you more one note when you're going against the defense. Now, obviously, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce have been on this team together for a while, and that's why you always refer to Kelce as one of the best pass catchers in the league. You can't say he's just a tight end. But Tyreek Hill leaving has caused everybody here to think that the Chiefs' offense is going to be less than. And I'm beginning to talk myself into the exact opposite. Now, usually you don't take cheese in the preseason. But yeah. Mahomes...
It's August 16th.
Mahomes played one series, 6 for 7. 6 different receivers.
Yep. I watched it.
And none of them were Juju Smith-Schuster. And after the game, Mahomes was asked about that. And Mahomes basically said, I'm paraphrasing here, but I'll give you the exact quote, I think it's going to be a lot like that this year. It's going to come from everywhere. You saw kind of 6 different receivers. Juju didn't even get a catch. That is correct. 6 of 7 for 70 yards and a score. 6 of his completions landed with different receivers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the only player targeted twice. Yeah, he's on this team, folks. So, MVS, he's no Tyreek Hill. True. But if MVS leaving is one of the reasons why we're also looking at the Packers saying they're less than, why can't we look at MVS being on the Chiefs and saying they're more than with him? Right? Did you know, as well, with Juju Smith-Schuster being there in a bounce-back season, I think he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Mecole Hardman is the only number one, I guess, a starting wide receiver that's back with the team from last year. Did you know on this team, after Clyde Edwards-Helaire and the running back depth chart, did you know they have Jerick McKinnon as the second-string running back?
I did not know that.
Did you know they've got Ronald Jones as the third-string running back?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then there's a kid named Isaiah Pacheco.
God bless you.
I don't know if we're going to call him the fight doctor, but
Ferdy's grandson.
He's a kid from Rutgers. I watched him play in the Big Ten, and I have gotten word from a little birdie in Kansas City to keep an eye out for him. And followers of this program can pretty much guess who that little birdie is. And I'm just thinking, with those guys and Mahomes and Kelce and everybody thinking that they don't have anybody because one guy isn't there. And then I remember the draft, and I remember the combine, and I remember seeing Skyy Moore out there. Remember I told you about him? Remember I told you about him after the combine and after the draft, and I was saying, sneaky great draft choices. Remember I came on and said these people are perfect draft choices? I'm trying to find my notes here. Should have actually looked it up beforehand. But I've been a little busy lately. And Skyy Moore has the same build as Tyreek Hill. Same. And I remember looking at the combine and seeing him out there, and I thought, well, he's a perfect Kansas City Chief. I think I even said that to Daniel Jeremiah. But at the time, I said, oh, Tyreek Hill's there, so they're not going to draft him.
Yeah, Skyy Moore's like 5'10", runs a 4.4.
Yep, he's got 2 Y's in his name. Did you know Josh Gordon's sitting there, too? Do you know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
Putting that out there.
Okay.
Low key sitting out there.
I think the Chiefs' offense is going to be better. I said it. I'm talking myself into it.
Better than
the previous years, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Because you don't know right now. That's what I'm saying, just to bring this kind of full circle. As I said at the top, you knew Mahomes would be looking for Hill and looking for Kelsey, and you could even bracket some coverage. You could do some things to kind of get Mahomes out of that rhythm. Now, you have no idea where he's going. Do you? Do you know he's coming out of the backfield maybe to get some screens, to get some sort of a wheel route, to get some sort of a easy outlet for Mahomes, which is they don't make the big play. Why don't you give it to Jerick McKinnon? Let him do his work. This kid from Rutgers, Isaiah Pacheco, Skyy Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, all with Patrick Mahomes at the controls.
We just want to throw out some rankings for this Chiefs offense, as
Got
I
it.
said. They were third in yards last year, total yards. They were
Yep.
number 1 in first downs. Patrick Mahomes was 4th in passing yards and 6th in passing touchdowns.
How about they'll be the same numbers but yet more efficient?
They
How
were
does that
number
sound?
1 in points scored.
Is there a stat for efficiency?
Well, I mean, it's just passer.
You know what doesn't show up in the stat?
Passer
is
rating.
Second half AFC Championship game.
Okay.
Doesn't show up in the stats.
Okay.
Throwing it to Tyreek Hill on the goal line where Mahomes shouldn't have.
Because you think he's forcing
I'm just
it because
saying
he's the number 1 option.
that
And
previous
now they're freeing up a little bit.
that there is a more of an unpredictability to this offense now. And everybody's sleeping on it. That's what I'm sitting around thinking.